Hey Miss Family, it's your girl Bella. Welcome back to my channel. So this is actually my first video I filmed where the new shelves are in the background. So if you have not seen my video where I organize my new shelves and unbox them, go ahead and look down below and check out that video. After this video, it will be linked in the description box. But if you're wondering why the shelves look so empty, it's because I have a really big book haul for you all today. I have a few more books that are coming in this week, but I was tired of waiting, so those are gonna just get put in another book haul. But I have a huge book haul and I'm going to be hauling some of my favorite books. So a lot of these books I've given 4 or 5 stars and I'm really excited to share them with you all. Also, I am wearing my glasses in this video. Usually I like to wear makeup, especially in videos that are sit down where I'm going to be there the whole time, or in intros or anything like that. But I cannot be bothered today, so if you're thinking that I don't look my best, keep that to yourself. And I did just break my nail. Keep that to yourself too. Anyway, let's get started. So the first pile of books I got from Amazon. So the very first book is the Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. I believe this is the only paperback that I got because it's kind of hard to get paperbacks, or not paperbacks, it's hard to get romances in hardcover form. But I love this book. It is a enemies to lovers, forced proximity, vacation romance. So it's about Olive and this one guy. Their siblings are getting married and they are unable to go to their honeymoon, so they let Olive and the best man's brother go on a honeymoon instead. And, or not the best man's brother, the groom's brother go on a honeymoon instead because they can't go because they got sick. And Olive and the groom's brother actually don't like each other, and then they go on this trip. They're forced to be together for 10 days, do all these little activities together, and of course end up falling in love. And I thought this book was just so sweet and funny. It's a rom-com, and Christina Lauren writes a good rom-com. Like, I was literally laughing while I read this book. And yeah, it was great. It is closed doors, so this fades to black with these smut scenes, which personally I prefer. I don't like on-page smut. So if you are gonna get like turned away by the fact there's no on-page smut, just know it right away. Personally, I'm so happy about that. It made me so happy. So yeah, I enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I got from Amazon is The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. Oh my gosh, I have not read this, but Tiffany D. Jackson is an author that is like auto-buy for me now. I've read 2 of her other books. I've read Grown, which I gave 5 stars, and I've read Monday's Not Coming, which I gave 4 stars. And she's an auto-buy author for me now. She has proven herself to me. So this book just came out this month, and oh my gosh, first of all, the cover is so pretty. It's this biracial girl, and she has like a crown on, she has this veil, and she's like dripping in blood, and she's like a prom queen sash. And on the back, like, amazing. Let's see if the underneath is cool. It just says The Weight of Blood in red. Nothing too crazy, but still cute enough. But this book, I believe, is about a biracial girl who's going to her school's prom, and there's some like hate crimes type of things being done against her. That's not a very good description at all. Just read the synopsis. This book just came out. She likes to write thrillers and mysteries that are hard-hitting, so this is in that category, but I think it's going to be a little bit more thrillery than normal. So I'm actually so excited about this, and hopefully I'll read it in the fall. The next book that I got is Crying in H Mart. I gave this book 5 stars. This is a memoir by Michelle Zauner. She's also like she's in a band. I don't know if it's K-pop? Forgive me if I'm wrong. She's in a band. But this is a memoir written as a tribute to her late mother. And I love this book. I listened to it on audio, and it's just about her relationship with her mom, the relationship through food, and I believe she's Korean, so Korean culture. And I thought it was so sweet, so heartfelt. So I wanted to actually get a hardcover of the book, and I think the cover is really cute. Next book that I got is Mary Jane. I talked about this book in my September reading wrap-up. So this is a coming-of-age YA historical fiction about a girl named Mary Jane who gets exposed to a life of like drugs, rock and roll, sex, all that fun stuff. And she's probably like 14 years old in the book. So this book is super fun. It definitely made me laugh out loud. And if you like a coming-of-age story that's in a historical 1970s setting, then I think you will enjoy this. The next book that I got was a graphic novel of The Great Gatsby. So I do like The Great Gatsby. It is one of my favorite classics, as it is everyone's, but I know some people literally just collect editions of The Great Gatsby. I'm not quite that person, but I do collect the graphic novels, so I actually ordered another one that's not here yet, and it'll probably be in my next vlog. But this graphic novel is so pretty. Like, look at the cover. Oh, I gasped. Look at back. Ugh, I gasp. I don't really understand what this is. How they have this like rope here, because it kind of makes it a little bit difficult to like put all the way open, but it's fine. But the illustrations, oh my gosh. So the next time I read The Great Gatsby, I do plan on reading one of my graphic novels, because I haven't actually read this book since my freshman year of college. I mean of high school, but I did get this. And if you don't know what The Great Gatsby is about, it's about a millionaire named Gatsby. And he is like a young millionaire in the 1920s, flappers generation, and he's in love with this girl named Daisy. Yeah, that's what this book is about. This is the last book I got from Amazon. What? It is a Twilight graphic novel, volume 1. So I'm a huge Twilight stan. I don't care what nobody says. You can hate Twilight. That makes fun of us, because I don't. So this is a graphic novel. I was just watching another YouTuber's, I think it was her bookshelf tour. I don't remember. Her name is Mina Reads. Mina Reads, yep. I was watching hers and she had like this cover. And I was like, wait, they have graphic novels? And they only have them for Twilight and New Moon. And the New Moon ones are so expensive. Like they're like $70 a pop because they're limited edition, so people are just selling their copies. I was looking up to get this for $20. This is the easiest one to find. This is the first half or the first volume of the Twilight one. But yeah, I got this and it's a graphic novel. It's in black and white. I don't know if I'll read the graphic novel. I really want to reread Twilight for a video, and just because I haven't read it in so long. Yeah, the graphic novel is pretty cool. So I just wanted to get it as like a collector's piece. And I would love to get the New Moon ones too, because they look pretty awesome. So the next place I got books from is actually Thrift Books. And I will tell you all right now, I was very disappointed with Thrift Books. And I've ordered books from Thrift Books before, and I only had an issue with one of the books. This time I had an issue with like over half. I got a refund on over half of these books, and 3 books I just had to throw away. One, the spine was broken, like split down the middle, and whoever was selling the book said it wasn't like new condition. Where another book, it was A Deeper Love Inside by Sister Soldier. That book, first of all, had no dust jacket. It has some weird pictures on the inside, chicken grease on the outside. When I opened it, there was a dead bug in it. And that's why I tell y'all all the time, when you buy used books, like, you need to freeze them, because bugs can get in books, okay? And I'm not playing with no insects. So I literally just threw that book in the trash. And the other book I threw away, I was just paranoid about it because it just said discard all over the book. And I'm like, why do you want to discard it? And why'd you sell it to me? So I had to get a refund on a bunch of the books. The ones I kept were fine. I ended up like wiping them down with like Clorox wipes and freezing them, because that's how I personally do with used books. I have nothing against used books. I love used books. I'm a huge library person and used book reader, because I just love how, one, the books are cheaper, and 2, you can tell that they've been pre-loved. But I just think that with used books you have to have some caution, because you just don't know where they're coming from. So that was a whole little tangent, but I was very disappointed with my Thrift Books purchases. They all look fine now because I cleaned them off and everything, but I do not plan on buying from Thrift Books again. With that being said, the first book that I'll show you all. Do you see that? Oh my gosh! Yeah, so I got the second volume of the Twilight graphic novel. This one has Edward on the front, and this was normally selling for like 60 bucks, and I got it for 20 on Goodreads, or not Goodreads, on Thrift Books. So it's just part 2 of Twilight, same black and white print. The New Moon one has like Bella and, what's his name, Jacob on one book, and then Edward kind of off to the side, like reaching for Bella on the other one. It is so freaking cool. Even though New Moon is like my least favorite of all the Twilight books, along with many people, because it's just the most boring. But I gag. Okay, next. The next books I got was the Boyfriend List. This is a series. It has 4 books by E. Lockhart. I read these in middle school, and I just felt like I just attached myself to whoever the main character's name is, which I don't remember because I read these in middle school. But I do want to reread them. It was about this girl. I feel like her name was Olive, because that's everyone's name. No, it was Ruby Oliver. And she has a shrink, and she has a list of all these boys that were her like boyfriends, or she had some type of relationship with. And I just remember reading this book and being like, yes, I feel her. And this book has like 4 books in the series. So I also got the next one, which is called The Treasure Map of Boys. And I also got the last 2, but those 2, one of them I threw away because it had the discard all over it. And the other one, is this book just 3 books in the series, or is it 4? I don't remember what happened to the other one. I think maybe it's only 3 books in the series. I don't remember, but I know for a fact I threw one of them away because it's the discard and I was scared. Next I have the Ugly series. So with these, this is a series of 4 books, and I have 3 because the last one was the one that when I opened it up, it was just ripped down the middle. So I only have 3 of them. And I get really disappointed by Thrift Books does this and Amazon does this. Uglies, if you know, there's a really pretty cover of these books. And when you look on Amazon or on Thrift Books, it shows you a really pretty cover, but then they don't give you that cover. Even Amazon doesn't. So I don't know where you can get that cover from. It is gorgeous. So I was a little bit disappointed when I saw these covers, but these are better than the original covers. The original covers are ugly. But this book is about, it's like a dystopian novel. I read this in middle school, and it's about this society, this alternate universe where when they turn 16, they get this procedure done to become pretty. And before then, they're kind of like ugly, they're banished. And then like once they turn 16, they get this procedure done to become pretty, and then they like, their life just elevates, you know what I mean? And so the main character, she's like so excited to get this procedure done, and she meets this guy who's kind of living like on the outskirts, and he's like pretty much running away from getting the procedure done. She's like, oh my god, why are you like on the run? She finds out the truth about the procedure, and she's like, oh my gosh, like I'm on the run with you now too. And so I've read the first 2 books, which is Uglies. Sorry if it's washed out, I'm right by the window. And Pretties. I've read those first 2 back in middle school, and then it also has specials, and the last book is extras, and I don't have extras, but I got those books. The next book is one of my faves, The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Soldier. I read this book this year. If you watch my vlogs, I had a vlog where I was reading it, and I was like, y'all, I cannot get into this book for the life of me. This book is super ghetto, like it's an urban book. But once I got into it, this is one of the best books I've read this year. And it's a book I think every black woman especially should read. Like, we love a hood fantasy. But no, this book is about a girl named Winter. And she's like a spoiled, rich little girl from the hood. Her dad is one of the biggest drug dealers. So she has like everything she wants. She has auto designer, nails always done, hair always done. Like she's always going out having fun, whatever. And then one day her dad gets locked up and sent away. You just see like how her life turns. Like she's 17 at the time, so she's no longer with her mom. She's kind of like hopping from place to place, living with whoever. Her mom is like strung out on crack. Her younger sisters get put into like the little system, whatever. They get put into the system. The, what's it called? Not foster care, but y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, you just see her hopping around, trying to maintain that lifestyle she has and not wanting anyone to know that pretty much she's not who she used to be. And then at the end of the book, it comes full circle. And oh my gosh, this is one of the best endings of a book I've ever read. But I literally love this book. I recommend it to even more than just black people, of course. Like anyone should read this book. It's so good. I gave it 5 stars. But especially black women, I'm gonna make my kids read this book. Like, yeah, it's that good. And then I just have 2 more books. So I have The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. I read this book earlier this year and I gave it 4 stars. This book is about 2 twin sisters, and they are light-skinned sisters in like the earlier half of the 1900s. And they live in this town, I think it's called Mallard, and it's just full of light-skinned black people. And they're all white passing, and even though they're light-skinned, they don't consider themselves as white, but they also don't really associate with the black people. So they just have their own little town where they just live off to themselves and breed lighter and lighter children that are still black. So it's about these twin sisters' lives and how one of them goes off to pass as a white woman, and one of them goes off and marries a dark-skinned man, has a dark-skinned child and everything. And so it's really interesting. It's a historical fiction, and it's a slow book. Like, it's not a fast-paced book. So if you don't like slower books, I wouldn't recommend this. But it's slow in a good way, in my opinion. Like, I think it needs to be told slowly. The way that it's written, I think, fits the times of the book and the context of the book. So I thought it was really good, and I gave it 4 stars. And then the last book is Walhalla. This is by Nikki May. I gave this book 5 stars. This is one of my favorite books I've read this year, and this is the author's debut, actually. So I'm so excited to read more books from her. There's a glare, so I'm just gonna hold it like this. This book is about 3 friends. They're all Anglo-Nigerian, so their dads are Nigerian, their moms are white, and they all live in Britain, and they all just have different views of their ethnicity and of race, pretty much. One of them is like super colorist, despite the fact she's half black. One is kind of like, she's colorist, but it's not as in your face, it's more like underlying. And then the other one is like, she loves her culture, she loves being Nigerian, like she wants to marry Nigerian. The other 2 like date, such a married to white men. And it's about their relationship as friends, and a 4th girl who comes into the picture and is another like Anglo-Nigerian, and she kind of comes to the picture and you see how this fourth girl kind of like turns their world upside down. And I thought it was super interesting. It's a very dramatic story. I don't know what category this is in technically. It has like a thriller aspect at the end, although I would not call this a thriller by any means. But it does have like, someone does die at the end, but I would not call it a thriller. And yeah, I thought this book was really interesting and fun, and it's one of my favorite books I read this year, and it did make me cry because Ronke, the one who is most in touch with her Nigerian roots, it was doing her dirty, and it just had me upset. So 5 stars. So that is it for my haul. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if any of these books are on your radar, or if you've read any of these books, like let me know. And if you made it this far in the video, drop down below a book or a stack of books emoji so I know who's made it till the end. I love y'all so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.